I want you to picture something. You're making dinner. It's a Tuesday. Nothing special. And then your husband's jacket falls off the chair and something slides out of the pocket. Not his usual phone. A different one. Older. One you've never seen before. That was the moment my 9-year marriage ended, and I didn't even know it yet. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that for 9 years, I thought I knew exactly who I was married to. Daniel was calm, reliable, a little boring if I'm honest. He worked in logistics, came home by 7, never missed a birthday. We had a mortgage, a dog named Biscuit, and a life that looked perfectly normal from the outside. I wasn't unhappy. I want to make that clear. I wasn't searching for problems. I wasn't suspicious. I was just a woman making pasta on a Tuesday night when everything changed. The phone was an old Samsung, the kind people used around 2016. No case. Slightly scratched. I picked it up thinking maybe it was an old work phone he'd forgotten about. It wasn't password protected. That should have been my first warning. That he wasn't even careful enough to lock it. The first thing I saw was a message thread. Her name in his contacts was saved as Mike W. Work contact. Normal enough. But the messages were not normal. They went back 14 months. 14 months. While I was planning our anniversary trip to Portugal. While I was sitting next to him on the sofa every single evening. While I was trusting him completely. He had an entire second life running quietly in the background. I didn't cry. I remember being surprised by that. I just went very, very still. And I started to think. Here's what I did not do. I did not confront him that night. I put the phone exactly where it fell. I finished making dinner. I sat across from him and watched him eat and talk about some issue at work, and I nodded, and I smiled, and inside I was building a plan so precise it would have impressed a lawyer. Step 1. I called my sister the next morning and told her everything. She's an accountant. She told me the first thing I needed to do was understand what was mine. Step 2. I spent 3 days quietly photographing every financial document in the house. Bank statements, the mortgage, his pension paperwork, our joint savings account, which at the time had £24,000 in it. Step 3. I found a divorce solicitor and booked a consultation without telling a single person except my sister. And step 4, the one that still makes me feel a complicated kind of satisfaction, I called his mother, Margaret, a woman who treated me like a daughter for 9 years. I didn't tell her everything. I just asked her, very gently, if she knew a woman named the name I'd seen on that phone. The silence on her end told me she did. I waited 3 more weeks. 3 weeks of making dinner and watching television and sleeping next to someone who had no idea the ground was already gone beneath him. On a Saturday morning, when he was making coffee and the dog was at his feet and everything looked like a normal weekend, I put a single envelope on the kitchen counter. Inside was a letter from my solicitor, a list of the accounts I had already moved my share of our savings into, and one sentence I had written myself. I found the phone. I know about everything. I'm already gone. Then I picked up my bag, which I had packed the night before, took Biscuit, and walked out the front door. He called 47 times that day. I answered none of them. And the thing people always ask me is, do I regret not confronting him, not screaming, not demanding an explanation? No. Because here's what I learned. Silence from a person who knows everything is the loudest thing in the world. He has to live with the image of me making dinner, smiling, acting normal, while already letting go. That's not cruelty. That's dignity. And I kept the dog. If you're going through something like this right now, You don't have to react the way the world expects you to. You're allowed to be quiet. You're allowed to plan. You're allowed to walk out with your head completely level. Drop a comment below if this story hit close to home. I read every single one,